Hello, bonjour everybody. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for those who subscribe to my channel. Today we'll talk about two kits. The kit number one is Fury and the second kit is Hit the Beach from Flames of War. Why those two kits in one video is because I decided to paint the thing that is provided in those two kits. It is two Sherman or one Sherman, one VC Firefly on Fury and 8 Sherman or 5 Sherman, 3 Firefly as you wish on the kit at the beach. So for a total of 10 Sherman or a mix of Sherman and Firefly. The good thing with that is because it's pretty much all the same except for the turret, then I can build 10 Sherman if I want because I got 10 turret for Sherman, or I can decide to have X number of Sherman with 2, 3, 4 Firefly. I know that if you take the Allied side and you take the American, each unit were of all Sherman or all Firefly. So you put on the battlefield, you will put, for example, one command of 2 Sherman with 3 or 4 Sherman on each unit, or you can have 1 unit of 4 Sherman with 1 unit of 4 Firefly. That's why they give you the option to have or Firefly or Sherman for the Allied. If you look at the British side, and that includes the Canadian or the Australian or every country from the Commonwealth, they have a different approach where they will put one Sherman VC Firefly 17 pounder with each troops. So you will find 2 to 3 Sherman with 1 Firefly. And I decide for the purpose of this video and the future video, because I never had a light vehicle so far, I always built German unit, and this is my first Allied unit. So I decided to do Canadian unit. I'm Canadian, and I decided that why not, if I'm about to build the Canadian Allied unit, why not building Canadian unit? So I look into it, and I decide to use a unit from the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division that land at Juno Beach from the beginning. So the first unit were from the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division of Canada, plus the armored division of those vehicles I'm going to paint. It is one of the unit. Now I would not come in details of who's who and what's the color and so on, but the patch and the unit numbered that will be marked on the vehicle will reflect those units in accordance to the time. So for me, I decided to use my armored unit as a Sherbrooke Fusilier, and the reason for that is it is my hometown. I'm from Sherbrooke, Quebec, Canada, and we have the Fusilier at Sherbrooke, and they used to be an armor regiment, and they use Sherman and Sherman Firefly. So I decided to use the numbers, the patch, and etc. to represent the Sherbrooke Fusilier on my unit that was part of the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division. So you see, I just finished to paint the track, the vehicle, and all those paint color that I used to do that will be marked in the bottom in the reference, so you have a good idea which color I use and which company the paint came from. Now that I decide to use the Canadian unit, I need to find the decals, water slide decals that will reflect that. And if we look at Flames of War itself, they have the 2nd Canadian, the 2nd or the 4th, just 2nd, I have to think about that. The decals of Flames of War are used to the 4th Canadian Armored Division colored. And for that, they have the green decals with the gold leaf in the middle. But it's an armored regiment, so there's not much unit. There's no infantry unit, etc. in it. So there's pretty much armored and artsy. So I decided to use the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division. I made my own sheets, as you saw just a few seconds ago. Because it is homemade and it is water slide decals, if you install them on the dark color, almost all the color, you will be barely able to see it. So what I decided to do is paint white in the back. So when I slide the decal on it, the white will make the color of the decal that I made really vibrant and really nice. So I decided to put all white paint, square. Then I slide my decals. On your right side, you can see is the badge of the 2nd Armored Brigade. And on the left side, the number 53, it is for the Sherbrooke Fusilier. And also the Sherbrooke Fusilier 53, because every division or brigade may have a 53 unit. What is particular for the Sherbrooke Fusilier is the bottom of the 53 underneath, there's a white line that would be added to it. So there's a white line under the 53. All 3 units of the 2nd Armored Brigade, where their number had a nice white line underneath to differentiate them. So it is done. You can see on the back, the left side is the numbered. On the left side on the back, as you can see, it is the badge, and on the right side, it is the unit number, and you can see the white underneath. And there's something interesting with that. According to some books and some pictures, is the Sherbrooke Fusilier made the mistake to put the badge unit on the left side and the number of the unit on the right side, while everybody else in the Canadian Forces during the 2nd World War had the number on the left side in the back, and on the right side it is the badge of the division or the brigade. As you can see on those pictures, you can see the brigade patch is blue with gold leaf on the left side and 53 on the right side. And suddenly on this number 14, you can see on the left side of that Firefly, number 53 with the white line on the left side and the unit on the right side. So I got confused on that, but most of the that's the only picture I found it like that, so I decided to keep mine as reverse in the back compared to the rest of the forces. Then I thought I was done, and with all the pictures and more I look, I find out that most of them have spare track weld to the side of the vehicle or in front for protection, and the kit, Fury or the kit at the beach, doesn't provide that many spare track. So I'm like, okay, I need to find spare track. And as you can see, probably everybody at least who play tabletop Second World War have saw the kit from Plastic Soldier Company. And if you look at the German unit, most of the time they have spare track, or they have 2 options of track for the same Panzer IV or Panzer III. And I kept most of them, so I find myself as a good option, and I decided to use Panzer III, Panzer IV, even Tiger track to put on the side of my vehicle. So I can, as you can see on this one, I put Tiger track on the side, and on top I put Panzer IV for the turret. So all the track are done. I decided to paint them the same way, black, metal gray, and some rust on it for make it look like a more old track that is rusty and all kind of wear and tear on the track. So that complete, all my vehicle has been painted and done like this. So that's a good addition. And when that's all done, I decided to do the weathering. And for weathering, I just want to go not too much. I just decided to use some dust effect on the vehicle, because if you look at pictures of Second World War 1944, when they land in June, July, didn't have much rain, was dusty, so all the vehicles were covered with dust, and all the equipment were covered with dust. So I decided I will apply dust on all my vehicle, and I use AK Interactive dust effect, and with a brush I brush that dust effect on the entire vehicle and the turret, and I try to brush it going toward the edge so it doesn't look like it is bizarre when you look at it. If there's like stripe on the vehicle, on the side of the vehicle, it looks like the stripe are going down and not sideways or horizontal on the vehicle. So that completes my vehicle, and all 10 vehicles have been painted like that. You can see the number 53 on the other side. On the right side is the patch of the 2nd Armored Brigade. On the back, you got on the left side the Armored Brigade patch, and on the right side the number 53 with the white line underneath. Also on most of the picture you can see numbers on the back of the turret, not on the side, because quite often there's track on it, so that's what it represents. So that's A Squadron, Troop 1 and 2, and 2 command vehicles from A Squadron. And this completes my video. I hope you enjoy it, and follow me while I build my Allied forces from the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division. Thank you for watching. See you soon with my next video. Bye-bye.